Prier receives a hard pass. Nice move. What a goal. She scores. A beauty from Bryn Prier.
And they knowing that's a plus. Back to back, highlight plays. All my moves is tough. Watch them work.
Comes out with the puck. She scores. Kramer has an open lane to the net. Stopped by Harris. She shoots. She scores.
All I want. W's and bank rolls, that's all I want. That's all I want. W's and bank rolls, that's all I want. Hey.
Big slap shot, kicked out, rebound. They score. Steven shoots, score. Walks the blue line, throws it on, rebound. They score. Back in front again. Oh, and it's stopped by Harris. Now Prier in front, she scores. Suter, Walker scores.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Westwood Arena. It's Game 3 of the U22 Elite Championship weekend. Your Burlington Barracudas are taking on the Bluewater Hawks. My name is Jared Bapty, and we are all set to go here on Rink 3 in Game 3. Bluewater, 1 win and 1 loss, beating Nepean 6-1 yesterday and then losing to London later that day. Meanwhile, Burlington, a tie and a win, beating Nepean 4-1 and then tying London 4-4 in Game 1 at around this time yesterday. Burlington right on the attack immediately, bouncing around in the slot. And Curry found it and made the save. And it's actually not Curry in net. It is Jordan Sladix. Of course, Taya Curry, last time Burlington played Bluewater at Mainway, had some incredible saves. Jordan Sladix, who recently got committed herself to university, is starting in net against Burlington. Callie Pitts on the other side for Burlington. Shannon Harris getting a break as Avery Holmes tries to break out, has her stick lifted on that far side. Abby Thibodeau back for Julia Stephen now. Cross-ice pass off the boards to Kate Suter, who dumps it ahead. That's McDonald who tries to get it up, and it's just offside on the hand pass as well as Kate tried to glove it down and shovel it into the offensive zone for Avery Peters. Face-off win for Bluewater. Getting it up the side, this is Maya Habib getting it into the offensive zone. That's number 77 who's not on my roster, so that's unfortunate for her. But Steven gets it up the far side for Caitlin Charlton, out to center into the middle for Peters. It's just out of her reach, and it is covered again by Sladix. Her face-off win for Bluewater. That's 3 straight face-off wins, and it's tipped out to center with a potential 2-on-1 now. Goes off the stick of Molly Batchram, though, and over and back at the Burlington blue line for another offside call as Batchram had it batted away from her by Kira Healy. Tie up off the draw. It's dropped back by Murdoch. Now across for Megan Reed. Deflected ahead by Claire Murdoch. Just out of her reach. Prier trying to come up with it. It's taken there by Haley Murphy. Has to spin back from the pressure of Prier. And that pass is cut off by Flores. Chipped ahead for Murdoch with Prier going to the net. Murdoch in front. And Prier's stick was checked in the slot. Held into the line by Healy. Not cleared out to center by Bluewater. This is Murphy. Down the right side on her off wing, does a spinorama move to try and get around Reed as it's deflected off a stick and out of play. Just under 13 minutes left in this first period, and because it was deflected off a Bluewater sticking out of play, it is the face-off outside the zone, fired in by number 14 Robin Story, one of the top performers for Bluewater this season. Stick lift by Tegan Gray, and the puck gets out to center. Backhanded ahead by Habib, but not in. Now there's one, and that should have been a slashing penalty as Avery Moon had the stick knocked out of her hands. As Story was going to the net with the puck with a long shot, but Pitts made the save. Her first shot of the game. No icing off the deflection. Sladek's out to play it behind her own net. Down to the near side, Hayden Summers. Trying to get away from Peters and Gray up the near side. Habib's pass is cut off by Suter. Now Haley to the far side for Steven. Up the far wall and chipped ahead by Peters. Suter came in to help, centering pass in front, and Charlton just missed the net. Went into the near corner for Healy, who chipped it in deep for Suter. Returned to Healy, centering that, went wide. Steven at the far point now. In deep for Peters, just deflected away from her by Summers. And picked up now in the near corner by Kate Martin and skated out to center by McKenna Kurulicki. She loses an edge as she was stood up at the blue line by Burlington, and it's knifed ahead by Haley. Skated right back out to center by Avery Robinson and slapped in by Robinson. Goes into the near corner for Prier. Prier trying to get it up the near wall. Healy now banks it ahead for Murdoch. Flores going to the net. There's the pass in front, but it handcuffed her and goes into the far corner. Flores still on it, trying to muscle it away from Robinson. Murdoch as well, and it's thrown up the near wall by DL Hall Paradis, but not out. Murdoch tries to throw it in front for Prier. There's Reed with his shot that's blocked. Moon's got it at the near point, sending it in deep again for Flores. Just out of her reach on the tie-up. Now Prier comes in to try and dig it out with Murdoch as well. Slapped up the near side, and Battram carries it out to center. Cross-ice pass into the middle for Olivia Detloff. The lone Bluewater Hawk on the attack as that shot goes off Reed, and Moon now off the boards and out to center. Deja Houston takes the slash as she pokes the puck ahead. Can't get it to the front of the net though, but avoids the pressure before she gets taken down behind the net. Houston gets it for Gray, but it's just knocked away from her and carried out to center by Keely Landers and dumped in. Steven keep the puck away now from Landers off the glass into the body of Gray, and it's cleared out to center by Houston. Clara Chisholm with a shot that goes just wide to the near side, and Gray now carrying it out through neutral ice. Over the right side here, and it's just knifed away from her, taken by 77 and fired up the near side, but the pass was errantly to the open wing, and Peters picked it up and carried it back for Healy now, banked it ahead for Suter, reaching back for it. Charlton had it go off her stick, and now 2-on-1 for Bluewater. Centering pass in front doesn't get through, and it now out in front as it trickles through the crease. Banked round back of the net by Burlington, chipped up the near side wall, can't get it past Story. That's number 12 who can't get it up, or who kept it in. That's another player who's not on my roster. Try and see her last name on her back of her jersey though, because she's got one. Just passed out for Battram now. There's number 12 sidestepping a check from Flores. Now Prier can't get it ahead. Battram over to the near side for Molly Battram. Dropped it back to her sister. It's knifed away from her by Flores. Murdoch tried to get it out. That looked offside to me, as that, I think that was an over and back. Number 77 now, out through center and into the offensive zone. Flipped into the far corner. Reed slaps it all the way down the ice. Will it have enough on it for an icing call? No, not enough on it. Waved off by the linesman, and it's fired around to the near side. Hubert trying to get it out to center. Dumped back in again by Avery Moon as the rest of her teammates go for a change. And
That far side, 77 with a pass ahead. Knifed forward by Chisholm, but tied up in the area in front of the Burlington bench, and Gray comes up with it. Dropped it back for Houston, who got it across for Thibodeau. Pass deflected, but Moon came to it, dumped it off the glass and into the offensive zone. On it in her own zone now, Robinson. Pass across to Hull Paradis and up the near wall. Moon rejected that one and fired it back into the offensive zone again. Robinson trying to step away from Gray, who's on the forecheck, got it over to the far side, just out of the reach of Detloff, and Thibodeau sends it back for Stephen, who tries to get away from Detloff, and Stephen successfully does that and gets it ahead for Suter, who dumps it on net, and Slatix decides to cover up. Just under 7.5 minutes to go in this first period. No score so far between Bluewater and Burlington. This is game 3 of Group B. Charlton in the far corner, tried to center it in front. It was off a skate. Goes in deep now. Avery Peters bouncing around behind the net. She's knocked down as she's trying to go after the puck. Suter intercepted that pass up the far side, but it's taken away again by Detloff and poked out to center by Krulicki. Haley coming back. Centering pass is out of the reach of Habib on the odd man rush for Bluewater. Poked out of the far side by Charlton. Stephen turning away from pressure. Stephen now with a pass intercepted by Murphy. Stephen recovering as Murphy takes it to the far side. Murphy lost it behind the net, but she comes to it again in the near corner. Dropped it in deep again. Knocked off this stick of Olivia Battram, but 77 comes up with it. There's Olivia Battram to the far side, trying to center it in front. It was off the skate of Murphy and cleared out to center by Prier. Robinson, hard pass ahead. That goes just off a skate and doesn't really work out as it's fired back out to center off the linesman. Prier ahead now off the boards and down the ice. Flores going after it. Slatix passed it to her defense, but it bounced away from them, and Prier comes up with it. Now Flores tried to get it in front. Here's Prier! Big stop by Slatix, and the rebound is knocked out to center. Quickly ahead again, just onside. Moon to Murdoch, now in front. Centering pass was blocked as Flores headed to the net, and Slatix covered up. Just over 5.5 minutes left in this first period. We are still scoreless. Both teams have had a couple opportunities. Gray left it in the far corner. Chisholm got there first, but Gray intercepted that again. Poked ahead by Chisholm. Picked up by Story and fired out to center to Molly Battram. In round behind the net, picked up by Megan Reed. Fired up the far side. Gray had her stick checked, but managed to muscle it out to center. And going back for it is Story. Forward line making a change for Burlington as Story carries it into the offensive zone. That shot off a stick and out of play. Rolling puck off the draw. It's knocked to the far corner, chipped out to center by Thibodeau. Peters skating onto it. Peters the only Barracuda on the attack, and she tried to get it out in front, drag it with her, but just couldn't quite maintain control of the puck. And Suter is interfered with at center ice as Story was going to the bench. And so Story is taking a penalty. Suter was headed to the bench, and Story skated right through her.
Terrible goal. That's a pretty low bar.
And Bluewater immediately upset about it.
So Burlington on the power play, brought to you by Skids Away Pallet Sales and Recycling Solutions. Moon to the near side now. Healy throws it on, and save made by Sladix. Four and a half minutes to go in this first period. 11 seconds gone in the advantage for Burlington. Face-off one into the near corner, pinned on the wall there by Summers. Knocked away from her as it's pinned up again by Murdoch. In deep now for Flores. Centering pass for Prier, backhander. Stopped by Sladix. The rebound is gliding around in the slot as Sladix's defensive partner poked it away from her as she tried to cover it up. Off to the right of Sladix, won by Flores. Prier gets it across to Healy. Healy returns it to Moon. Our side now Murdoch. Has it checked away by Chisholm. Now Moon getting it ahead for Flores in the far corner. Murdoch back for Moon again. Moon into the high slot. Walks into his shot. Right into the glove of Sladix. And she hangs on to it again. Chisholm hard on the forecheck to try and get Burlington to make a mistake here. She's won another face-off as well. Robinson behind the net to the near side for Hall Paradis, who fires it down the ice. This is Moon. Across for Healy. Carries it over the blue line and in. Healy round back of the net. Trying to wind things up and allow Burlington to set up on the penalty, or on the power play again. Healy's got it once more. Sharp angle shot right into the chest of Sladix. And she hangs onto it again. 39 seconds left in the power play for Burlington. It's been a bit of a slower power play compared to some of the other ones we saw yesterday, as that's cleared out and down the ice again by Bluewater. Thibodeau's got it behind the net. Skates it out through the center lane. Pass across for Houston. And over the blue line and in. Drops it back for Gray. To the line for Thibodeau now. Looking for an option. Gray, high slot, spins and fires. Blocker save by Sladix. And it ricochets off a body and goes behind the net. Holmes got it back for Thibodeau. Shot on. Another save for Sladix as the penalty expires. And Bluewater got it out to center. Thibodeau with a pass to Steven that Olivia Batram was sniffing around, but Burlington able to recover. Got it through neutral ice and in deep. Robinson fanned on her pass, and Suter was right there looking around for it. Robinson again out through the center lane. Krulicki's had it knocked away from her. Robinson back on it again in the far corner, up the far side. Slapped away from Landers by Kate Suter, but second pass fired ahead for Murphy. Can't step around Moon as Murphy lifted that up over top of the net. Tipped out to center, but it's off a glove in the Burlington bench. So we have a face-off coming with 1:45 left in this first period in the Burlington zone to the right of Pitts. Burlington has done quite well so far in this game of keeping shot attempts away from Pitts. Just one shot has actually got to her so far this afternoon now. 12-12 local time. Hall Paradis to the far side. Slap shot blocked by Steven. Comes over to the near side. Paradis got it in deep again. Round back of the net. Steven up the far side for Murdoch. Settles it and lifts it out and down the ice. Prier trying to race after it. Tie up, and Prier just touched it first. The 244s went into the near corner, and Prier came up with it, but Bluewater stole it away and got it out to center. Right back in for Burlington is Prier again, dumping it into the area behind the net. And it's picked up by 12, fired up the far side, but not out. Murdoch kept it in just for a moment. She was tied up by Chisholm, and here goes Molly Battram now. Slams on the brakes as Haley knocked the puck away from her, and Summers has it in neutral ice. Houston trying to take it away. Olivia Battram battling with Holmes, and Holmes has taken a penalty. A light hook on Holmes. And at the 45, with 45 seconds left in this first period, Burlington has a penalty to kill. Face-off thrown out, Kurlicki again. But Bluewater came up with the puck anyways. Here's Summers now, shot kicked away by Haley, but not out. Robinson tries that shot, that doesn't get through either. Houston just able to get it out past Robinson to center ice. Summers to Robinson on the far side, watched by Houston. Drops it back for Summers again. I don't think was expecting it, as Robinson receives the pass back from Summers again and carries it into the offensive zone. Houston stood her up on that far side. Steven comes up with a puck. Final 10 seconds left. Steven trying to break free, short-handed. Julia Steven just missed the net. As we wrap up the first period with the buzzer here on Rink 3 at Westwood Arena. No score after one, and a penalty to kill for Burlington as we head into the second period. Okay, second period coming up with 1:15 to go on the penalty kill. Avery Holmes still stuck in the box. And a face-off win for Bluewater. They've been very strong on the face-off so far in this game. It's taken behind the net by number 12, and now fired across and out to center. Carried through by Chisholm. And it's offside at the line. Number 12 is Timochko. I do remember that name now from the last broadcast from Mainway Arena against Bluewater. Near side dump in by Landers. Haley going after it against Chisholm. Bluewater came out with it. Story's pass blocked by Prier, but she couldn't quite reach it to knock it out to center. Landers behind the net, centering it in front. It's knocked away. Molly Battram battling with Healy on that far side. Chisholm now to the line. Story knocked away by Prier, who skates after it out to center. Timochko trying to bounce it ahead. It just gets through, but it's knocked away by Murdoch. Dumped in again by Timochko in the final few seconds on the power play. As that's fired out and down the ice. And out comes Holmes. Hull Paradis with a pass ahead, now across to Hubert. Dumping it in deep. Moon wraps it up the far side. Peters was too far ahead of it, and it was cut off at that far wall by Hull Paradis. Peters trying to knock it out. Doesn't quite get there. Held in nicely by Habib. Moon got it up the far side again. Suter and Peters trying to muscle it out to center. Suter dropped it back to Moon. So we'll try the other side now. Moon spinning away from Habib. Up the far side now for Peters, who had it glance off her stick and out to center. Robinson turning away from Charlton as Robinson fires it round back of the net to the near side. Hubert stood up at the Bluewater blue line by Thibodeau, and Charlton fired that towards the front of the net. We'll call that a shot as Bluewater still can't get it out. Houston kept it in. Hull Paradis now with a pass. Robinson cut off by Houston, and Holmes is down the right wing. Holmes trying to center it in front. Here's Gray. 2 stops for Sladek. And Gray is hauled down after the whistle as Olivia Battram and Gray were tied up a little bit in front. Gray with 2 shots on Sladek on a beautiful centering pass from Holmes. Out for the puck in the near wall. Houston and Gray in there for Burlington. It's dug out by Krulicki up the far side, but held in by Healy. Gray stole the puck away. Gray still battling for it now in the near corner. Houston in there as well. Up the near side, chip to the line, and it just skips over the stick of Reed. Murphy racing after it. Reed and Healy. Healy knocked it away, but here's Krulicki with a shot, and I think that went off a stick and wide. Backhanding it out in front. Now another shot. That's a save for Pitts. At the line, 77's shot is cut off by Flores. 3-on-2 now for Burlington the other way. Tipped ahead for Murdoch, and it's rejected at the Bluewater blue line. Detloff pass out of the reach of Hannah Grima. Spun and fired that in front that went through the high slot. Flores on the near side now. Up the near wall for Murdoch, but her pass doesn't go. Chisholm with a long shot that goes wide. Sharp angle, that's blocked as well. Steven up the near wall, but not far enough. Deflected wide by Murphy over to the far side. Prier has Murdoch skating through, and she just couldn't quite settle the rolling puck. Tomochko's pass skips away from Flores, but it's knocked away by Healy and tied up in the area in front of the Burlington bench now as Burlington dumps it in and goes for a forward change. Up the far side, it's Molly Battram trying to step away from Steven, who kept it in. Holmes ahead now for Sutter, who poked it into the far corner. Tried to wrap it back out in front. It was Charlton, actually. Pass cut off by Thibodeau. Rolling puck off the deflection. Lands into the glove of Sladek. And she hangs on. Still no score between these two teams. Just over 10.5 minutes left to play in this second period. Big tie up in the near corner again. 3 Barracudas are there. Drop to the line for Thibodeau. Shot fought off and held by Sladek. Bluewater with just 2 shots on net so far in this game. Burlington already with 17. Stopped at the side of the net. Another save by Sladek as 77 tries to get it up the near wall. Olivia Battram just got it out to center. Habib reached back and dragged the puck with her. Shot blocked by Steven as Steven takes it behind the net. Fanned on her first pass, but the second one got up the wall. Suter and Charlton. Charlton chips it ahead for Suter again. Suter trying to muscle it in deep. It's stolen away by 77 and fired up the far side. Habib's pass just picked up by Murphy, I believe. No, that's Olivia Battram. Stolen away again by the Barracudas, and that pass goes right past Houston for an icing call. Face off to the left of Pitts. One back by Houston. Moon behind the net. Steven let it go for Holmes up the far side and just out to center. Right back in by Krulicki. So Steven recovers it. Tried to hit Houston. Icing waved off. Tomochko going after it against Gray. Gray stole it away. Behind the net. Wraps it in front. Holmes with a shot that goes off a stick and out of play. Just under 9.5 minutes left now in the second period. Face off to the left of Sladek, and Burlington is waved out of the face-off circle, so one of the defenders has to come in to take the draw. Flores goes back to the line. Puck won by Reed nicely, but Flores wasn't quite ready for it. And so Burlington dumped it in. Bluewater trying to get it back out to center now. Flores drops it for Moon on the far side, ahead for Prier again. Slapped away from Robinson into the far corner by Prier. Prier trying to dig it out. Murdoch's there as well. Murdoch run into the boards by Robinson. Prier and Murdoch. Robinson comes up with it though. Robinson turns away from pressure. Murdoch and Prier still tracking her. Up the far side, Moon kept it alive. Moon poking it ahead. Murdoch going after it against Krulicki. Krulicki stepped in front of Murdoch. Flores now digging it out in that far corner. Flores trying to bounce it in front. Comes to the far side and it's carried out to center by Hubert. Rolling puck, stood up by Moon, but Hubert came up with it again. And it rolled off the stick of Murdoch, or Hubert, excuse me, and Moon fired it out to center where Charlton sends it in deep. Summers. Pass goes off the boards and it's fired right back in by Healy. Charlton going after it. Summers got there first, wrapped it round to the far side for 77. Sends it up and cut off by Suter. Tries to throw it in front. Charlton reaching for it, poked away by Sladix. Still loose in the high slot, taken away by Bluewater. Landers on that far side. 77 trying to get it out. Can't do it though. Suter, Gray going to the net. Backhanded there, just up and over top of the stick. And it comes to the far side and out to center. Shot fought off by the blocker of Pitts. Right back the other way. Just out of the reach of Houston. Houston got there first. Hybrid icing means Houston beat it out. Houston dumped it in deep again. Gray going after it. Houston trying to dig it out behind the net. Taken away by Timochko. Up the near side. Murphy's pass. Fanned on it a bit. Got it right back and got it out to center again. Steven sidesteps a check. Houston one-touch pass into the middle for Holmes. Holmes with Murdoch going to the net. That pass rolls through the crease and it's taken behind the net. And overskated a little bit by Olivia Batcham, so she recovers it and returns it for Robinson as it's cleared out to center by Murphy. Moon for Thibodeau now. Cross ice dump in. Flores going after it, but Hall Parody got there first. Robinson now on the near side. Can't bank it up the near boards. Murdoch took it away. Poked away from Prier to the line for Moon. Long wrist shot. Doesn't get through. In front now, Flores. Robbed with the pad of Sladix. Thibodeau at the line. Just onside. Flores can't drag it to her forehand to get it off. Now in front again. They score! TJ Flores. Robbed once, won't be robbed twice. Roofs it on Sladix. And Burlington takes a 1-0 lead. Off the draw, scramble, and battle for the puck in the center circle. Taken by Krulicki over to the far side. Knifed at by Healy. Sent round back of the net. Centering pass. Nice play by Bluewater, but puck rolling. Couldn't get a clean shot away. Healy up to the far side, but not out. Healy again. That goes all the way down the ice. Peters trying to get there after 77, but whistle blown as the goaltender Sladix came out to play it. So that face-off will be at center ice.
Someone's gonna get hurt.
That's not how hybrid icing works, folks. And we have a conversation with the head coach of Bluewater, asking about the icing. His goaltender came out to play it. And nobody had reached the hash marks yet, so that's why there was no icing. Tie up off the draw. Gray came in to pick up the puck and shoveled it ahead. Net by 77, wrapped back of the net to the near side. Battle for the puck, Story. Tied up in that near corner. Gray trying to dig it out with Houston as well. Summers and Story in there with Krulicki for Bluewater. Holmes was the sixth player in as well, still tied up in that near corner. Slapped in deep again by Holmes. And Summers now up the far side. Cross ice pass return to Story on the near side and flipped in deep. Reed. Hard pass ahead for Healy, who jumps in on the attack for Burlington. Healy. Puck rolled on her a little bit as she tried to stick handle it, and it flipped up on its edge as she took that shot, and it went up and out of play. Looks like it did in fact go off a stick as well, so play will remain in the Bluewater zone. Another face-off win for Chisholm. Up the far side, kicked ahead again by Murdoch. A second time, this is Prier now. Flores to the net, kicked out. Another stop by Sladix. 2 shots there as Thibodeau fired another one. Prier now in the far corner. Round back of the net, rolled along the lip of the boards to Murdoch, who got it up the near side for Thibodeau. In deep again, Prier turning away from pressure. Held up but got it to the line. Thibodeau, shot deflected on. Another save for Sladix. Prier battling for it behind the net with Murdoch. Flores tried to drop it for Murdoch, but her stick was checked. Thibodeau came in to help. Prier in the near corner. In deep, Murdoch held up as she tried to play the puck on that far side. No call there. Flores in front. That was Prier, actually, whose shot went up and out of play off a stick. Just 3 shots on net for Bluewater in this one so far. 4:10 left in this second period. Burlington with 23 shots. And the center for Bluewater thrown out. Suter won the draw. Steven in deep. Suter going after it. Back of the net to the near side. Trying to chip it to herself. Left it in that near corner. Charlton and Peters. Puck rolling and stopped up on the side of the net. 77 fires that right up and out of play as she tried to ring it off the glass and out to center. The fans just tried to return the puck to them, but it's now caught in the netting, unfortunately. Just under 4 minutes left in the second period. A 1-0 score for Burlington off the goal from Flores. Stephen tried to float that on net. It was off his skate into the back wall. Charlton got it back to the line for Thibodeau. Long shot. Whistles its way through, but it was too high. Up and over top of the net. Out at center now. Skating on through is Olivia Battram, and on the miscue at the blue line with Murphy falling to the ice. Bluewater went offside. Knocked back by Houston for Reed, who meets it at center ice and is able to dump it in deep. Holmes chasing it. Houston came in to help as well in the near corner. Houston battling for it. Gray chipped it in deep again, went round back of the net. 77 picks it up there, fired it up the far side. Hubert got it out to center, but it was knocked down by Holmes, who dumps it right back in again. 77 meets it behind the net, tried to get it to Robinson, but Gray cut that off. Pass for Houston, skipped over her stick blade, tied up in the far corner. 77 turning away from Gray as she tries to pin it up on that far wall near the hash marks. Gray comes up with it, drops it to the line for Moon. Over to the near side, Reed. Puck rolled on her, so she has to settle it. Shot on, stopped by Sladix. Goes around back of the net to the far side again. Gray poked at it to go into the near corner. Flores for Prier. Now Moon. Wrist shot, floated that over top of the net into the near corner once more. Prier again. Left it in deep for Flores to go after. Krulicki dug it out of the crowd and carries it behind the net and fired it right in front. That was up the stick of Flores. Now chipped into the slot area, deflected away from Murdoch. Poked back to the line for Moon. Long shot off a body, bounces back out in front, and Sladix has to drop the pad down to keep that out. 2:07 left in the second period. Face-off won by Flores. Reed pokes at it, trying to keep it in. Prier does, just for a moment as it comes out to center. Reed and Story collided at center ice, and the puck trickles to Story, poked away by Reed. Molly Battram turning away from Moon. Far side now Summers, chipped ahead. Chisholm trying to settle the puck. Story knifed away again by Reed. Up the far wall by Prier, but not out. Molly Battram kept it in. Lanced away from Chisholm by Flores. Fired around back of the net to the near side now for Murdoch. Lifted up and out to center for Prier, reaching for it. Trying to come up with it. Prier's shot just goes wide. Chisholm comes to the loose puck. Takes it behind the net. Up the far side now for Molly Battram. Lines it to Story, who backhands it in deep as Bluewater makes a change. Steven. Hard pass ahead for Charlton. Nicely received by Caitlin Charlton. Looking for a centering pass, and it goes through the crease and out to center. Could be a 2-on-1 now for Bluewater. Waiting, Habib in front. Shot blocked by Steven. Sprawling out to break up the play, and she's got the puck now, stopping behind the net. We're in the final minute of the second period. Charlton lost it in her feet. Robinson held it in just for a moment as it's knocked out to center. Peters battling for it. Suter, cross ice dump in as the forward line goes for a change and one more shift. Hull Paradis bouncing puck at center ice. Gray lost an edge as she poked it ahead. Hull Paradis throws it to the open side where Holmes meets it. Houston touched up, just offside as Gray was a half step ahead on the pass from Holmes. 17 and a half seconds left in this second period. Clean face-off win for Houston across to Moon from Thibodeau. Moon into the offensive zone, trying to throw it in front. Houston was checked. 10 seconds to go. Sent round back of the net to the far side now for Summers, who chipped it ahead. Poked away from Hubert by Moon. And that will do it for the second period. We'll let the Zamboni clean the ice and be back for the third in a few moments. A 1-0 score for Burlington with a goal from TJ Flores. All right, the third period underway. 20 minutes on the clock. We got a pile up right off the face-off, but Robinson's on the puck for Bluewater. Takes it behind her own net. Tries to send it up the near side. That's rejected by Gray. Hubert sent it behind the net. Robinson banks it off the boards for Story. Her clearing attempt doesn't quite work. Gray carried it back in. Hubert now chipping it past Moon. Reed can't get it quite out to center yet. Second attempt, gloved down by Charlton. Moon taking it away from pressure and firing it up off the boards and out to center again. Habib dumped it right back in. Pitts left it for Reed, who fires it up the near side again. Suter has it knocked away from her by Krulicki. Krulicki working to the front of the net, and the net is knocked off. We know this from yesterday. These posts are nice and weak. Pitts just trying to push off the net and just knocked it off. Suter won the draw, comes right to Habib, tries to chip it at the side of the net. Came out in front, but there were no Hawks there, and another whistle as the net has come off again. We saw this yesterday at this rink, specifically this net not being able to stay on. Clean win off the draw for Chisholm. Summers walking down the left side, takes it round to the right side, but reversed it in deep in the near corner. Steven poked it to the line. Peters tried to get it out. Steven followed up. Pass across for Thibodeau, who jumps up in the rush. Thibodeau takes the slash and gets it in deep. On the near corner, Peters battling for it, comes to Flores. Now Charlton cutting to the net. That's stopped by Sladix. Near corner again, Peters in deep for Flores, comes back to the line. Steven kept it in. And a cross ice pass just gets out to center. Sent in deep again by Thibodeau. Flores going after it. 77 got there first, fired it up the near side. Batram can't get it out though. Murdoch to Flores. Flores in for Prier as it poked away from her. It's lifted to the line and out to center. Haley watching Molly Batram going into the Burlington zone. Haley up the near wall. Kept in by Bluewater. Haley in deep again, pinned up on the back wall as Flores comes in to help. Send it to the line. Long shot doesn't get through from Robinson. Prier off the boards ahead for Murdoch onside. Murdoch trying to cut to the net. Just couldn't quite make it there. Squeezed out by Robinson. Another shot. 2 stops by Sladix on the offensive opportunity for Burlington. Houston in the far corner, round back of the net. Haley going after it on the near side now. Trying to keep it in deep for Murdoch. Knocked away, and Molly Batram gets it to the far side for Landers and out to center. Moon quickly ahead for Houston, but she just missed it. And it's an icing call against Burlington. .53 left in this third period. 1-0 score for Burlington. Got a lot of shots, a heavy advantage in the shot department. But just 1 goal to show for it. Sladix has been stellar in net so far this afternoon. Moon up the near side for Healy, lifting it high and out to center. Gray trying to settle it down. It bounces away from her. Tomochko almost gave it away in front. Holmes was tied up, but the bouncing puck comes to Suter. Near side, just sent that wide to the far side. Chisholm. Near side now, poked ahead by Hubert. Moon met her at her own blue line, glove down in the area in front of the Burlington bench by Chisholm. Now pass across and out to center, over the blue line for Thibodeau. Tried to step around 77. She was stopped there, but Suter got it behind the net. Peters slams on the brakes and takes it to the far side again. Peters still with the puck. Looking for an option, cuts up to the high slot. Near side now for Steven. Steven going into the corner. Leaving it for, no, Steven still got it. Has it stolen away. 77 out to center now with Murphy. And Murphy just onside on the rolling puck to the net. Stopped by Pitts, and the rebound is sent to the far corner by Steven. And we have a roughing penalty on Kate Suter. Of all people to get a roughing minor on this team, Kate Suter is one of the least likely to do so. So, penalty kill early in the third period here for Burlington. Comes to the line. Story sends it on net. Pitts directs it to the near corner. Healy battling for it with Batram. Chisholm came in to help. At the line, Story, far side now to Mochko. High slot cut off by Reed. Directed on wide now by, it was off a stick, really. Goes into the far corner. Reed muscled it behind the net. Poking at it was Healy. Reed just around to the far side for Murdoch, who fires it right up and out of play. Almost hit Suter in the penalty box. 1:27 left in the penalty kill. Brought to you by Shield Performance, the official gym and training program of your Burlington Barracudas. Tie up on the far side of the net. Thibodeau won the battle, and Holmes wires it the length of the ice. Sladix tried to stop it behind the net, but it skipped past her. Chisholm leaves it behind the net for Tomochko. Tomochko out through center now. Chisholm knifed at by Moon as she got it in deep. Pitts left it behind the net. Thibodeau up the far side, deflected out to center by Holmes. Tipped ahead by Story, but intercepted by Flores with Moon going to the net now. Flores, high slot, Moon on! Stopped by Sladix. And out at center again. Molly Batram deflected ahead. Skated through by Detloff, backhanded behind the net. And it's reversed now up the near side. Houston got it out to center. Coming up on 30 seconds to go in the advantage. Just onside, Detloff now. Centering it in front. That's deflected wide by the stick of Pitts. Perlicki behind the net. Moon got to it. Robinson on the far side. Sent it in deep again. Steven off the boards to Gray. Final 10 seconds on the power play. Gray left it in the near corner as Steven had to get there before Perlicki. Or Robinson actually, as it's cleared out to center and Suter returns to the ice. Healy banked ahead for an icing call as the goaltender came out to play it again. And yes, it is not an icing call because the goaltender keeps coming out to play the puck before the whistle goes. So face off at center ice as Hubert gets her hands up on Charlton. No call there. All Paradis behind the net. Suter tied up by Hubert at the line. Steven, long shot goes wide. Peters comes up with a rebound. Peters in front, deflected away from Suter. Healy racing after it against Habib. Got there first. Deflected out to center, but right back in to the Burlington zone. So Peters drops it off for Steven, who returns it to her with a bank pass. Peters with Charlton. Now it just rolled off her stick, and it's cleared out to center again. Reed off a stick, but ahead for Charlton, and she dumps it in, but that is on the wrong side of the red line, and that is an icing call. Face off to the left of Pitts. Murdoch scramble off the draw, goes to the far corner, up the far side. Charlton reaching after it. Charlton rubbed out by Chisholm. Robinson picks up the puck and skates it into the offensive zone. Centering pass goes right through the blue paint. Molly Batram sent it behind the net. Chisholm tied up by two Barracudas, and Molly Batram tried to center it in front. It was off a stick. Moon blocked it. Charlton tying her opponent up on the far side. Moon dug it out and skates it out to center. Peters came in to help. Moon got it ahead again, and Molly Batram retrieves it in her own zone. Pass across. Landers is disrupted by Murdoch, and Prier gets it down the ice. Flores going after it against 77, who falls to the ice. Murdoch trying to dig it out with Flores. Here comes Prier now with the puck. Steven going to the net, and she just lifted it up over top. Beautiful pass from Prier to hit Steven in front. And the puck goes all the way down the ice again. Steven, long pass for Prier, just missed her. And that is another icing call against Burlington. Steven with a golden opportunity, just got too much of it. Lifted it up over top of the net. Face-off win by Krumlicki, far side to Mochko. Got it in deep behind the net. Couldn't be centered out in front by Story. And Prier trying to slap it out to center with Houston. Steven reverses it back the other way, and Steven is cross-checked to the ice with no call as Houston gets it up the far side and not out to center, but Houston came up with it again. Here goes Gray now. Glanced away from her, but she goes after it. Leaves it for Thibodeau, who pokes at it, but lost control of it. Here comes Krumlicki now, dropping it for Murphy with a big shot that's blocked by Healy. And Healy picks up the puck and goes up the ice, a 3-on-2 now for Burlington. Healy for Holmes, can't get it to the front of the net. Pass almost broken up by Holmes. The Story gets it in deep. Pitts let it go to the near corner for Healy. Run back of the net. Reed now. Reed up the near side. Knocked down, but not with a high stick. Holmes with a sharp angle shot, fought off by Sladix. At the line, Reed tries to throw it on. That's off a body. And Olivia Battram gets it out to center. Haley to the near side. Reed fanned on her pass. Habib comes up with it. Gets into the offensive zone. Dropped it back, but that was cut off by Charlton. Peters back the other way. It's a 1-on-2 though. So Peters with a nice move, but just takes a bump and gets knocked down as Charlton tried to catch up to her. Here goes Robinson now trying to step around Thibodeau. Can't do it. Thibodeau battling in the far corner. Gets it up the far side. Charlton poking at it. Tied up. Suter followed up. Got it to the near side for Peters, who decides to go off for a change and let Moon take the puck ahead. Moon still with it. And it got knocked down in the near corner as Robinson took it away. Chisholm. Pass into the middle for Hubert. Moon coming back and pokes that away from her. Thibodeau up the far side. Flores settled it. Prier wrapped up a little bit as she tries to come up with the puck. And loose puck in the area in front of the Bluewater blue line. Poking at it. Summers trying to take it away from Prier. Prier's hooked up. Still came up with the puck though, and that's Chisholm behind the net. Up the far side, 77s. Pass gets out to center. Steven tried to chip it ahead. Rolling puck in neutral ice, can't be settled down. Steven finally gets it ahead, deflected in deep by Murdoch, who goes racing after it. Murdoch ties up Summers behind the net. Trying to dig it out. Habib. Holmes came up with it. Takes a couple of slashes and falls to the ice. And Krulicki, the one who delivered them, gets the puck. Centering pass. Big stop by Pitts. Right on it again. Pass blocked twice by Healy. Into the far corner now, Steven. Cross ice for Holmes. It went off her stick. Holmes is interfered with by Battram into the boards as she tried to play the puck. Skated in on the offensive attack now. Sharp angle shot blocked again by Steven. Poking at it is Suter. Got up into her body. Gray takes a hit and gets it out to center. Pass deflected. And Hull Paradis gets it into the offensive zone. Steven. Long pass ahead for Gray. Trying to settle it down. Tomochko off the boards. But not out. Suter kept it in. Hull Paradis again. Up the near side now for Habib. Cross ice pass cut off by Reed. Nicely read by Megan Reed. Takes it into the far wall. Peters tried to come in to help. And it's taken away by Olivia Battram. Out to center. Pass off the skate of Murphy. And that is offside.
McDavid got called offside for a play exactly like that in the NHL, so offside is the correct call.
Poked at by Suter, comes to Moon now, off the boards and out. Peters trying to come up with it, taken away by Summers, driven into the boards. Suter dropped it back for Charlton. Moon poking at it. Murphy able to drag it through, and Moon's stick got caught up in Murphy. He got away with one there, tied up on the back wall now. Thibodeau battling for it with Chisholm. Thibodeau still got it. And we got to blow the whistle at some point here, folks. Now comes out as Chisholm landed on Thibodeau. Suter can't get it out, though. Now Thibodeau behind the net. Fanned on her clearing attempt. Second attempt does get out. Icing waved off. Summers. Up the near side. Hubert still got it after she was checked by Murdoch and Healy at the line. Hall parody over to the far side. Detloff. Pass blocked by Steven. Flores takes the puck to the back wall. Steven trying to dig it out. Flores takes a bump. Puck comes to the near side for Healy. Backhands it up the boards. Prier able to chip it out to center. Murdoch going after it against Robinson. Robinson knocked down as Murdoch came up with a puck loose in front, and Sladix found it and held on. .525 left in this third period. Clean went off the draw. Holmes with a shot off Gray. Got it right back. Stick in her midsection, and that has got to be a hooking penalty. But no call there. Houston gets it behind the net to the far side. Holmes poking at it, comes out to center. I guess we've just put the whistles away with the referees here in the third period. Centering pass goes off. Steven comes to the far near side. Battram in the near corner. Send it to the line. Tomochko slap shot blocked by Steven. Gray picks up the loose puck and sees Holmes going ahead. Knocked away from her. Gray can't get it past Tomochko. Tomochko down the right wing now into the offensive zone. Tried to center it in front. That was blocked by Steven. Habib comes to it on the near side. Battling for it against Healy. Healy tries to muscle it up the near wall. Still battling for it. Olivia Battram in there as well. At the line now. Battram has to take it out to center with too many Barracudas in the vicinity. Battram back on the attack. Dropping it for Habib. Steps into a shot. Another block by Steven. Charlton just couldn't quite get it to go in the right direction for her. She wanted to chip it ahead for a breakaway. Steven able to get it out to center again. Summers with a glove. That's going to be a hand pass, as that was gloved by Olivia Battram and played by her forward partner. 4:04 left in this third period. 1-0 score. And Burlington calls a timeout with 4:04 left.
Let's go, girls. Go, Bluewater. Let's go. Starting with drop down.
Some fierce motivating words from Coach Murdoch on the bench as we are back underway. Reed flips it ahead. No icing. Summers goes behind the net. Peters trying to take it away from her. Up the near wall. Battle for the puck. Suitors in there. Cross ice pass. Out of the reach of Story. Reed got it ahead and right back on the attack. Robinson trying to steal it away from her. Robinson gets away from Peters. Robinson now sidestepping Charlton out through center. Robinson has it stolen away by Suter. Cleared to the line but not out. Flipped in deep again by Bluewater. Up the near side. Moon got it out and down the ice. No icing as Bluewater was on a change. Top line coming out for Burlington, now deflected in by Bluewater. Steven round behind the net to the near side for Prier. Lifting it cross ice, but Murdoch was out to center. Poking at it is Murdoch. Still trying to come up with it. Tomochko backpedaling off the glass and kept in by Thibodeau. Flores for Murdoch and in deep. Hall Parody got it up the near side now. Murphy couldn't get it past Steven. Second attempt for Chisholm skating through, and Murphy collided, and now two Bluewater Hawks took each other out. Prier fanned on her pass, but she's got it back. Sharp angle shot comes out in the slot, and Burlington couldn't find it. Chisholm dumped it in off the linesman. Steven back of the net to the far side. Murdoch deflected it out to center. Houston racing onto it, skating towards the net. Houston blocker saved by Sladix. Rebound picked up, bounced out to center. Healy got in the way of that one. Holmes picked it up. Near side now, Moon trying to get it out to center. That's cut off by Krulicki. Just onside, spins, gets that in front. Molly Battram trying to get that to the slot. Krulicki's stick was checked. Moon picks up the loose puck, takes a couple of slashes and gets it out to center. Still carrying it in over the blue line, and Holmes was half a step in front. .149 left in this third period. It's a one-goal game still. Flores goal back in the second period. Peters got in the way of that pass. Came to the area in front of the bench, and the linesman got in the way again. Moon tried to clear it out. Now she's got to go back forward again in her own zone. Off the boards to the near side. Hall Parody got in the way of it. Sladek still in the net for now. Olivia Battram to the line. That's off a stick. Hall Parody got there. Deflected wide of the net. Sladek still in the net. Haley ahead, knocked down by Charlton all the way down the ice. No icing. Hall Parody. Peters trying to get it away. This is Robinson now. Cross ice pass. Poked out and down the ice. No icing. Sladek still in the crease coming up to the final minute of the third period. Murdoch takes a check and gets it out to center. And penalty called as Murdoch was driven into the boards by Story. So a power play for Burlington with 59 seconds to go. And a timeout has been called by Bluewater.
Did you pause the recording?
All right, 59 seconds left. And the linesman waits to drop the puck, and Flores flinched too many times, so Prier comes in. Chisholm won it. Hard off the boards. Moon comes to the rolling puck, gets it out to center, and it's slapped right back in again. Sladek's thinking about leaving the cage, perhaps. 45 seconds left. Sladek's still waiting in the net as Burlington gets it out to center and into the offensive zone. Flores wrapped up. Tomochko can't get it out. Murdoch blocked it. Murdoch on that far side. Still got it wrapped up by Tomochko. Flores dropped it to the line. Moon. Pass blocked. Murdoch knocked it down and it trickles wide. Flores left it behind the net. Tomochko. Prier was tripped by the goaltender. Puck, they score! Couple of whacks at it in front, and Prier found the loose puck and got it into the back of the net, and that seals it with just under 10 seconds left. And Flores, I think Flores knocked it down in front. Give her an assist on that one. Stands or bench, it doesn't really matter where the abuse comes from. It is still maltreatment as Thibodeau pins it up on the boards to end the game. A 2-0 victory for Burlington in this one. Shutout for Cali Pitts as they improve to 2-0-1 in the round robin play, and we'll look to find out just if we end up needing to play a quarterfinal game this afternoon. It will depend on multiple factors, but that does it for us. We may be back this afternoon, or certainly potentially tomorrow as well, here at Westwood Arena.